Is this a tough match? It's one of the strongest and toughest matches I've seen for a long, long time. It's on Fremantle now here tonight.
Racing in the goal, shoots, and has put it through.
How about that for a night? That's one of the best I've seen for a long time. And the battle's on for the 1985 Busters Football Cup.
Good evening, everyone. It's a delightful night at VFL Park for match number 2 in the 1985 $525,000 Foster's Cup. Tonight's clash between Richmond and East Fremantle. And, of course, the big talking point around town, not only in Melbourne, I guess, but also over in Western Australia, has been whether Morris Rioli will, in fact, line up for the Tigers tonight. Let's check on how both teams will line up tonight in this evening's clash. Let's go down, first of all, to Stephen Phillips.
Thank you, Peter. The conditions down here on VFL Park are absolutely ideal. Better, in fact, than last week. It's a trifle cooler, the ground very firm, no breeze. And East Fremantle, last year's West Australian National Football League runners-up to Swan Districts, coming out on the field with Ronnie Alexander leading them out. He's 34 years of age. He's played 284 games in the West and with Fitzroy. And behind him, Brian Peake, who played with Geelong but made a real name for himself with the Cats. And Ronnie Alexander, Jack Edwards will line up on the bench, I believe, and will only play probably 8 to 9 minutes a quarter. He's 34 years of age, and they're trying to make him last.
Well, yeah, 34. He's not doing a bad job, is it? Last thing, but I thought he would have taken on big Mark Lee, Richmond's new captain, and try and put a bit of pressure on him. Now, Richmond under pressure at present too, Steve, with a new captain, new coach. They got new everything. Their practice form's been poor. And up until 8 tonight, Rioli was in doubt about clearance wrangles, but he has been cleared.
We'll have a look now at the Richmond side coming out onto the field, led by Mark Lee, and Rioli will play.
Will play for sure. Everything's been cleared. They haven't given me any details, but he will play. Everything's cleaned up, and everyone's very happy down there too. And Richmond have got quite a few different players in their teams from other VFL clubs. And one I see out there, McKenna from Footscray, wearing the head guard, number 30. He's playing for them, and they are very, very fit, they reckon. And Paul Sproul said they'll give a real good account of themselves.
OK, Jack, just one to watch out for on the Richmond side is Tim Barling. The boys say he's a terrific ruckman of the future. Well, Pete, that's the situation down here. It's terrific. Should be a great game of football.
Right, thank you, Jack, and thank you, Stephen. And the umpires for tonight's interstate clash, John Russo from Victoria and Phil O'Reilly from Western Australia. We'll take a break, back with the action from the first quarter in just a moment. One and a quarter minutes into the first quarter. Richmond kicking to the left of screen and the East Fremantle side kicking to the right. The mark taken by Kerr. The Sharks, oh, beautiful long kick. That must have covered a good 55 metres down towards the goal. Just about through, touched by Francis, I think. Very, very close. What a great kick, Bob Skilton.
It's a beautiful kick, and Kerr quite happy about that one. And Morris Rioli just in the foreground along with Kerr, as we see big Mark Lee taking the kick off, not knowing which way to go.
New Richmond captain, hoping for a good night. Well, certainly things not going his way there as the mark is taken by Renstead. He's gone for a short pass, and the Sharks looking pretty good at the moment as the grab is taken by Lockyer. Lockyer about, let me see, 45 to 50 metres out from goal. Oh, another beautiful kick, but Lockyer also off target, I think, as was his teammate, and threw for one behind. So the Sharks leading by 2 points. Richmond get to score at the 2.5-minute mark of the term. We usually play doesn't start, of course, until we come back from a break. There was a little system here which I don't think the West Australian umpire was acquainted with. We had a light, so play started a little bit early. The mark grab there for Richmond by Sikaski, one of their new players. And there's another one, Chris Burton, formerly of Footscray, half-back right, going for a run, long kick up towards the Tigers' half-forward line. A high leap from Roach, not successful, couldn't grab the ball. And there will be a ball up, says umpire John Russo, at half-forward for the Tigers.
Into the first quarter by just on 3 minutes, and East Fremantle 2 points, doing most of the attacking. To Richmond yet to score.
I think you might find Dale Waitman with a few stitches coming up, Lou.
Ball out there now. Whitten goes for a tap off the ground for Richmond. There's plenty of strong tacklings. The ball is driven away now by the fullback. That's Foreman up there towards the centre half. Lockyer couldn't get it for East Fremantle. Knocked out to Jimmy Brush. Oh, he copped his opponent in the head. But the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go back to the new skipper for Richmond.
Penalising the side, really.
That's Mark Lee, a quick hand pass. Another one coming back here now to Rioli. A long kick up there looking for Roach. Punched away again by Foreman. The ball hits the deck. And there's a chance now for East Fremantle to get the ball wide. Knocked away by Jones. Back there towards the centre of the ground. And finally, Renstead goes for a hand pass out wide. And we see the East Fremantle side go back into attack over their half-forward line up there towards the full-forward position. Going after it now is Lovell, the ex-Collingwood player, pushed over the line that time by Turco. And the ball, I don't know if he's paying that free kick. Yes, he's paying a free kick to Lovell down there in the back pocket. Richmond yet to score. And East Fremantle 2 points. Ball down there by Lovell, driven out towards the half-back line. And there's a good mark taken there by Richmond. Ball shot back there towards the centre of the ground. Mark Lee to take the mark there at centre field. A quick hand pass to Rioli, but he lost sight of that one, but he recovered okay. A hand pass coming out to Rowlings, who had a bit of trouble signing his contract with the Tigers, but everything seems to be okay now. Oh, there's a good mark out there by Roach, but he's a long way from goal. Over to Rowlings, backing up well. Finally, Rowlings gets a long kick up towards the full forward position. There's a chance now for the ball to be driven away by Green. Bit of fumbling going on. Burton overran the ball. They're trying to pick it up for East Fremantle, but the umpires found a free kick. And it'll go there to Richmond. It'll be Annear to take the free kick about 35 metres out directly in front. The kick by Annear is a good one. Doesn't quite make the distance. Roach got his hands. I think the umpire's going to pay the mark to him. Yes, Roach with the mark. Only about 1.5 metres out from goal, directly in front. And this, no doubt, this could be the first goal for the Tigers.
Not a doubt in the world about the mark. Neither of the East Fremantle defenders having any chance of being able to punch the ball away. Roach having far too much height for either of the players.
Waiting now on Roach to put the Tigers' first score on the board. And we're just over the 5.5 minute mark of this first quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. There it is, a goal.
It's a lovely goal to Michael Roach. And not that I think it was necessary not to have Brian Taylor out there, but without Taylor, I think you'll find Roach a far more dangerous and effective player.
Well, that's his true position, Bob, full forward. There's no doubt about that.
So I've got no doubt about that, Lou.
Six minutes into the first quarter, it's Richmond by 4 points in the Foster's Cup from VFL Park. Lee leading the Tigers in the match tonight for the first time in a competition game. Umpire has found a free kick for holding the ball. It'll be going to East Fremantle, and the kick will be taken down there by Wilson. Kick dropping a little bit short, up to half forward. Annear should get there first. The ball socket off the ground out towards the centre wing position. To centre field. Umpire's found a free kick for a push in the back. I think quite a logical one. And it will be taken for Richmond by Craig Stewart. Stewart usually a pretty good kick. That one is very high and wide, not too handsome. Could have been a free kick. The umpire says no, play on. Picked up by Main Waring for East Fremantle. And that's not a bad sort of a pass. It's found Kerr. Kerr on half forward left. It's gone for a pass. And the Sharks at the moment looking pretty good. Down towards Big Baxter. Couldn't quite grab the mark. In fact, they're probably finding the conditions here at VFL Park tonight quite to their liking. A shot at goal and putting it through is Bushell. That's a good snapshot, and that's their first major on the board. Stephen Phillips has some news for us on the boundary line.
Thank you, Peter, and not particularly good news for Tiger fans. Dale Waitman was helped off 2 or 3 minutes into the first quarter. He's got a bad gash over his left eye, and he's in there being stitched up at the moment.
OK, thank you, Stephen. 6 points to 8 in favour of the East Fremantle side. Mark Lee and everything so far for Richmond. 2 points in it. First term in the Foster's Cup won by Lee. Rowlings went for a further knock-on, not successful. A big clash of players down there. A wild hand pass goes East Fremantle's way. And the ball picked up by Wake. Driven up towards the Sharks half-forward line. Francis goes through, dispossessed pretty quickly, but backing him up well was his teammate down there, and Sakaski gets kicked out wide. A chance out there for Eustace. A push in the back, perhaps, as the umpire. No, and a good hand pass goes to Gepp, and the Tigers get clear.
And the Tigers take the ball back towards the centre half-forward. Oh, there's a good mark to Renstead. Or was it Wake? Wake to take the mark out there on that half-back flank position for East Fremantle. A hand pass coming over, and East Fremantle drive the ball right down there by Holt over the half-forward line. Still plenty of battling going on. Little Kerr goes in after it, can't get clear. Players are falling over left and right on the East Fremantle half-forward line. There's a hurried kick back there towards the full-forward position by Peake. And finally, it's Francis coming out of that full-back position over to Rioli. A hand pass coming out now. And the ball is finally driven up there by Sakaski out towards that half-back line. And Richmond take the ball back through Rowlings, back to the Annear. Out wide it goes, and a chance now for the Tigers to go deep into attack as we see Winton drive it up there towards Roach. Got one hand to it, couldn't hold the back, but Foreman got into his back. And he could have been a bit lucky to get that free kick, but he's got the chance to score another goal from about 45 metres out for the Tigers. They're already 1 goal, 6 points to East Fremantle, 1 goal to 8. Just over the 9.5-minute mark of this first quarter of the Foster's Football Cup for 1985. There it is on its way. It's a long kick, but it won't make the distance. Punched out by Foreman. Oh, down goes Annear, I think it might have been. Yes, Annear it was. Finally kicked off the ground by Winton out towards that back pocket position. We see going after it now. Green can't get clear, but he won't give in for East Fremantle. Out to Big Lee. Lee's grab, tries to scoop the ball out. Finally does, but the umpire said he threw it. And there'll be a free kick down there to East Fremantle's green. His kicker's out wide, looking for Peake and Rioli. It's Rioli outclassing the West Australian champ, taking the mark. It's a beautiful pass. It's grabbed by Winton. Over to Rowlings. Another one coming out to Burt. The Tigers run to an open goal through Burt, but he's kicked it off the side of his boot. But Simpson could mark it. He does.
Good pass. Right?
And Simpson has the mark in the forward pocket. That's always a good pass when you miss kick it like that and your own teammate marks it.
Particularly near goal.
There's the chance now for Simpson down there on that forward pocket. He's only about 25 or 20 metres out from goal, but the angle's a bit difficult. And the Tigers are trailing by 2 points as we approach the 11-minute mark of this first quarter. There's the kick on its way. And it's a good one. It's a goal.
Well, Simpson taking full advantage of the being able to come off the interchange bench to replace the injured player in Dale Waitman. Waitman in there at the moment, having stitches put in their head. And Simpson most certainly has made the most of his opportunity.
4 points the difference in the first quarter, which has been going just over 11 minutes now. Lee once again winning the centre bounce, but once again can't find a rover. The Tigers swing into attack. That was Sakaski. It's very much like Barry Rowlings at a distance too.
Wish his name was Smith.
That would be helpful. Roach, who started off well at full forward. Not with that kick, though. I think it will be out of bounds, and indeed it is on the full, and it will be a free kick to the West Australian side, East Fremantle. Waitman in the dressing room being stitched up down there. The free kick in the meantime out on the ground is being taken by Green. Green at back pocket right for East Fremantle. Kick dropping a little bit short, but Rinstead reads it well. He's gone for a hand pass. It's picked up by Kerr, who's playing well for the Sharks at the moment. His kick up towards the centre wing position, and the mark is taken by Brian Peake, the Tassie and Sandover medalist. After 4 years with Geelong, back into the West, picked up by Rowlings this time. Rioli. Pass was too long for McKenna. A chance down there for Larkins. He's caught, seemingly with the ball.
The tackling of East Fremantle has been superb so far, Pete.
Harding to Peake. A little chip shot. Doesn't travel very far. Kerr takes the mark on the point of the square. Long way from goal, about 75 metres, so subsequently goes for a short pass. Francis has to go the spoil. Picked up by Bushell. He's gone for a hand pass. A snapshot at goal by number 19. That's Wilson. Is not there, but a good mark is taken right in the goal square, I think. Yes, the umpire has paid it. And so the Sharks, East Fremantle, has a chance to increase their score. It's Waterson, I think, yes. Former Richmond player. Right in the square. Shoots at goal. And 4 points.
That's well, Colin Waterson, the former Richmond player, and he would be delighted to be able to pick up that goal, and a little bit awkward to pick up as he was swinging away with the kick. But the former Richmond player, I think he's had a couple of years with East Fremantle now.
Waterson putting through his first goal, and it's East Fremantle leading by 2 points, 14-12.
And we're just on the, we are on the 14-minute mark of this first quarter. There's a chance now for the little fella Bushell to get clear, but couldn't do so. Finally, the ball is driven up there by Mainwaring up towards the forward pocket, half-forward flank. Picked up by Peake, a hand pass coming over now. There's a chance for a goal. We see a snap by Turco. It could be a goal. No, it's 1 point. Well, they're looking good, East Fremantle. They've started off in a blistering pace, Bob, and as you mentioned before, they're tackling well.
Yes, they're taking the game right up to Richmond at the moment, and Richmond not getting full advantage of the number of times Mark Lee has gained possession, and so, you know, East Fremantle leading in the race for the ball.
There'll be a free kick against Gepp of Richmond to Mainwaring. He'll take that free kick out at half-forward. Got him on the back of the neck. And Mainwaring to send this deep into attack for East Fremantle. Not a bad sort of a kick. Drops short. Oh, Strachan overran that one. The ball finally punched away by Zakaski. Out towards that forward pocket position for the Tigers. In comes Francis, juggles the ball and over the boundary line, but still deep in the heart of the East Fremantle attacking zone, only about 30 metres around from their goal. We're just over the 15-minute mark. 3 points the difference in favour of East Fremantle. The Sharks are doing okay as the ball is kicked out of the pack. Going after it is Rowlings, not doing a bad job either. As the ball is kicked across goal, it could be fatal, but the ball finally marked by Gepp down there in the back pocket. Driven out towards the wing, in comes Jimmy. Yes, fumble that one. And this is Mainwaring running to an open goal again. Let's fire. Oh, the ball is intercepted by Rowlings. A hand pass coming back to Mainwaring again up towards the full forward zone. Flying high was Jones. Couldn't hold the mark for East Fremantle. Strachan tries to tap it out. And it's finally picked up there by Rowlings over to Francis at half back. Goes for the long kick back towards the centre wing position. Oh, good mark taken by the big fella that time. And Baxter's got the mark out there on the edge of the square for East Fremantle. Ball drops short, knocked out by Peake. Finally picked up by Wilson. A high kick back into the full forward zone. Baxter's there, couldn't hold the mark. The ball hits the ground. There's a chance for Kerr. He snaps. It's good. It's a goal.
A lovely piece of roving on that occasion, Lou, and East Fremantle are really taking the game away from the Tigers because of the fact I think they've got a little bit more life in their legs at this stage of the game. Richmond have got quite a number of players out there that were not with the team last year, and it may take a while for them. I know they've had practice games, but they could have had a number of players in and out of the side, and at this stage East Fremantle can do no wrong.
First quarter scoreboard in favour of East Fremantle, 21 plays 12. We've been playing nearly 17 minutes, so just on 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And it's certainly been a good one for East Fremantle so far. Picked up by Jones. His kick was smothered. The ball rebounding towards centre wing. Member stand side. A chance for Renstead. Good tackle on him by Burton. Still loose ball on centre wing, and finally it's Burton to pick the ball up, the former Footscray player. Chris Burton's kicked long down towards the full forward left pocket, but East Fremantle doing everything right at the moment. This is Wake. Nearly had his head taken off. He would have had one, I think, had he grabbed hold of him. Wake has the free kick. And a 15-metre penalty. Haven't seen too many of those because of the new controversy about time wasting. Good kick by Wake. Back up towards centre field, and a good mark now. It's a play on call. Simpson, who kicked a goal for Richmond earlier, and it will be a free kick and another 15-metre penalty.
I mean, Simpson a little bit fortunate there. He played on and then was caught. I wouldn't have penalised the tackle on that occasion.
Simpson going for a hurried hand pass. Now it rebounds to Rowlings, who's playing well so far for Richmond, looking for Michael Roach. Foreman is down there with him. Roach battles on. Here's a chance for Rioli. A beautiful snapshot. Will it come around enough? I don't know. Hit the post, I think. Yes, it did, and so one behind the Tigers when they badly needed a goal. 13 plays 21. 18 minutes gone in the term. Mark taken by Brennan. And that was Foreman, I think, with the ball up towards the centre wing. Umpire has found a free kick. It will be going to East Fremantle. And another 15-metre penalty. Tim Gepp will have to give the ball back pretty quickly. It will be taken by Mainwaring, who's been a busy little rover so far. He's had about 5 or 6 kicks. Bushell getting grabbed with the ball. Did he have it, says the umpire. It's out of bounds. It will be a boundary throw-in.
And we're just on the 19-minute mark of this first quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. It's 13 points Richmond, trailing East Fremantle 21. A difference of 8 points. And the visitors are doing OK at the moment. Knocked out by Lee. There's a chance now for Straw to get his way through the pack. He does. Out towards that half back line. Taken off the pack. There's a chance for Renstead. A hand pass coming back to Mainwaring, doing a great job. Good play on the part of Harding. The ball drops short. Little Turco overruns the ball for East Fremantle too. It's finally forced out to Jimmy Jess, who kicks it off the ground, playing it safe. It goes for the boundary line and out of bounds. We see Larkins wasn't taking any chance for the Tigers then. It could have been level. It's level, I should say. Quite a few new faces around here tonight. Ball back into play again. Ball knocked down by Harding. Turco gets a hurried kick at the goals, but he's off target and through for 1 point. So just over the 19.5-minute mark of this first quarter. It's 22 points East Fremantle to Richmond 13. Ball back into play again. Drops short. A chance for Annear to mark. He doesn't miss that one. And he takes that mark down there in the back pocket. There's the siren to win the first quarter of the second match of the Foster's Football Cup. And we see East Fremantle 3 goals, 4-22 to Richmond 2 goals, 1-13.
22 plays 13 in favour of East Fremantle at quarter time. For East Fremantle, their goals have been kicked by Kerr, Waterson and Bushell, and for Richmond the goal kickers have come from Roach and Simpson. Curtain raiser match here tonight turned out like this: a very easy win to Cranbourne High School over Camberwell High School. Bob Skilton, how did you see the first term?
I don't think you could do much better than East Fremantle did in that quarter. I think Richmond were probably fortunate that East Fremantle did not pick up another couple of goals. East Fremantle led to the ball. They took the game away from Richmond by medium of the fact that they were leading in the taking the ball wide, running the Tigers off their feet. And I think Melrose must have told his team that Richmond are not too quick. And Ron Alexander now talking, but it was Graham Melrose just before. And they have run Richmond ragged so far.
Well, the thing that impressed me about them so much, Bob, in that first quarter was their tackling. They meant business, and I suppose that's typical of Ron Alexander, because he was a pretty tough cookie when he played here for Fitzroy 4 years ago.
Quite interesting to see Melrose having a word, and then Ron Alexander also having a word to his side. But
Co-coaches, Bob, it would appear almost.
It would appear to be that way at the moment. And there's Paul Sproul, his first competitive game as coach of the Richmond side, and Paul Sproul has a magnificent record as coach down there in Hobart. And he, after coming across from Essendon, played some wonderful games of football, a real attacking player, and Richmond could do with the pace of Paul Sproul around there at the moment, because to date I think they've not only lacked pace but lacked some penetrative kicking, and haven't got the ball down to Michael Roach quickly enough. Roach does have a height advantage over his opponent down there, and if they can get the ball down in a hurry, long kicking straight down the ground to Roach, I'm sure it would pay off.
Second quarter coming up in just a few moments. In the meantime, we go down to the boundary line. Here's Stephen Phillips.
Thank you, Peter. Well, Paul Sproul certainly got a lot on his mind, and Dale Waitman's right up there in the forefront. Had 10 stitches in that nasty gash, as you saw him being stitched up. He'll take no further part in the game, and Paul Sproul very disappointed, especially with the looseness of his centre line and his half-back line. Saw Graham Melrose, the former North Melbourne Rover, addressing East Fremantle with Ron Alexander, and the two of them, I think, are doing a pretty good job. Don't you agree?
Bobby, I just felt that possibly the fact that Richmond have got quite a few new players in their lineup wouldn't be helping the situation either. You know, we've got...
It does take time to
Yes.
settle into the pattern of your teammates, and even just looking down there, Michael McKenna doesn't even look the same player in a Richmond Guernsey that he did in the Footscray. Likewise amazing with Burton, and there are a few there. Lovell's another, and it does take time to settle in. And apart from that, they've got a few youngsters as well.
All right, Ron Alexander already on the phone.
And certainly not making any excuses, Peter. The better side so far is in front.
Just about ideal conditions here tonight for the match too. Not as warm as last week, certainly. But I think the players appreciating the mild conditions in a rather good Melbourne autumn night. 22 plays 13. 9 points the difference in favour of East Fremantle as we begin the second quarter of the Foster's Cup match from VFL Park in Melbourne. Mark Lee, new Richmond skipper, did well in the centre bounces and indeed around the ground in the first term, picked up by Rioli. His kick doesn't travel any distance at all. Now a chance for Bushell. Sharks the ball beautifully, no pun intended, down towards their full forward line, and a real chance for the Sharks here. Socket off the ground by Brian Peake, and it just misses, through for one behind. Well, I think Peake made the right play, and there's Dale Waitman with a nice mouse under the right eye, and as Stephen Phillips mentioned,
looks like he copped 2 in 1.
He got a bit of a bump over the top of the eye too, Pete.
10 stitches, and that happened in about the first 2 or 3 minutes of play. Rowlings, who had a contractual dispute with the Tigers.
Well, I bet they're pleased they signed the contract after his form tonight.
He's been one of their better players, hasn't he?
Certainly has.
You would certainly wonder about the wisdom of that. Anyway, he's been playing well. There's a chance for Michael Roach again, down towards their full forward line. McKenna, can he get boot the ball? He can't. Not yet. And taken away by Holt. He's gone for a short pass, and that's okay. The mark is taken by Renstead. Renstead with a hand pass to Wilson. Short around the boundary line, picked up by Lockyer. Jimmy Jess in hot pursuit. A short pass again. Brian Peake couldn't quite take the mark. Strachan for Richmond. Goes for a short pass. It's too long. Only travelled about 20 metres just the same, but still too long for the player for which it was intended, and that was Burton. 13 plays 23, 10 points the difference. Tigers looking a little bit rattled at the moment. East Fremantle have the better players. But it's still the early part of the match. Harding knocks that one down. Rioli can't pick it up. Annear backs his teammate up well. Hooks it high back towards centre wing. Craig Stewart getting underneath the ball. Has it punched away. Has a chance for Rioli.
And Rioli fumbled that one. Knocked on again by East Fremantle. It finally is a free kick. It'll go to Rioli. Got one on the back that time, and he'll take the free kick out there on that centre wing position. They're trailing by 10 points, Richmond. Just over the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. Ball up to centre half forward. It's too long off the top of the pack. Here's a chance now for Richmond to pick the ball up. Running in this time is Larkins to an open goal. Fires. It looks good. It's a goal. And that's a badly needed one for the Tigers.
This is one of the rare occasions that East Fremantle haven't had somebody down after the ball's come over the back. And Larkins, as we watch on replay, and we watch from the other angle, and Larkins a neat little left foot kick, and he makes no mistake. Once again, we watch it. Just breaks the tackle. And a very happy player would be young Larkins.
Second quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. 4 points the difference in favour of East Fremantle just over the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Lee against Harding. Harding got that tap down to Wilson. Now it's East Fremantle. A hand pass coming out to Jones. A bad one. Rioli's got the chances. Jones missed that. Kicked off the ground out wide for Winton from Rowlings again. Winton's a bad hand pass back. It comes to Little Eustace, the ex-Essendon player. Turns, drives the ball back over the half-forward line. Coming in to meet it now is Green. Fumble that one. This allowed Simpson to knock the ball back there to Annear. And coming in to take the mark is Roach. Fumble that time by Richmond. Simpson. A hand pass coming back to Main Waring, their best player. Roach got one right in the face that time behind play from Wilson. And the umpire spotted that one. And the free kick will go to Roach. Got it right in the eye, I would say.
Just about reportable.
And we see Roach with the free kick at centre half forward about right on the edge of the screen. There it comes. Bang. And Main Waring breaking away, but it was too late because the free kick had already been paid to Roach from about 55 metres out. There's the kick. It's a mighty kick by Roach, but it's off target. And it's through for 1 point. That's his position full forward. There's no doubt about that. That was a hefty punt kick. So it's Richmond 3 goals, 2-20 to East Fremantle 3-5-23. Just on the 4.5-minute mark of this second quarter.
Foreman takes the kick out for East Fremantle. Kick long, but not as long as Michael Roach's. And again, if Roach gets onto them, he's one of the longest kicks in the game. Rioli a chance. It's a real underground one, that one. Tigers attacking with little system at the moment. Sharks defending desperately. It goes to Harding, showing plenty of pace for a big man too. Long kick down towards centre half forward. It hit Lockyer on the back of the head, but there will be a free kick, I think, going Richmond's way, and it will be taken by Zakaski. Centre wing. Oh, nice old dish up behind play there. Not seen. And the marker is taken down there by Holt. He's gone for a short pass. Grab is taken by Harding again.
Not a bad type of player, Harding, either, Bob.
His Main Waring doing very well too. In fact, I'm a bit surprised that he didn't get the free kick for pushing them back on that occasion.
Had 6 kicks in the first quarter.
Mark Lee off the ground, Pete.
Yes, well, perhaps that's surprising.
No, not when you see his foot.
No, I guess not. Plenty of ice on there, isn't there? The Tigers don't want to lose him, their new captain. It goes to Wake now for East Fremantle at half-back left. He's gone for a short pass up towards centre wing position, trying to find Brian Peake. Bounced off his chest and lost sight of the ball. A chance for Wake again. Just gets boot to ball. Out comes Jimmy Jess and takes a safe mark. In front of Lockyer, who doesn't want to give it up. Jess along with Michael Roach. Perhaps the longest kicks in the Tiger side, and I guess 2 of the longest in the VFL. Jess, oh, it's yours, mate. Down to Green. Nobody wanted that one. Now a chance for Larkins again. He kicked the last goal for the Tigers. Can he make it 2 in succession? That's not bad. He's stopped it, I think. Yes, he has. Well, great goal by the young Richmond player. He's kicked 2 and Richmond back in it, Bob Skilton.
Yes, I noticed Barling out on the ground too, and he's a player that Richmond really looking to. Barling coming on the ground, Stewart going into the ruck. And I'm very impressed so far, Lou, with the job that Zakaski is doing against Brian Peake.
Yes, he's doing a very good job. Well, they've moved Peake out of the centre. They put him to half forward, Bob, haven't they? Or didn't he start off in the centre, I think?
He just only for a couple of minutes though,
Yeah.
Lou, and young Winstead has been in there for most of the time.
Annear picks the ball up. It's Richmond by 3 points at the 7-minute mark of the term.
Well, getting high that time was Holt, but couldn't hold the mark. There's a scrimmage going on. Kicked off the ground by McKenna, but the umpires decided to ball it up on Richmond's half-forward line, about 55 metres out from their goal. The Tigers in front by 3 points, 26-23, just over the 7-minute gone of the second quarter. And they've had a hard job to get this lead. Picked up by Annear again. It's a bad hand pass. Picked up by Main Waring, doing a great job out there on the wing. And there's a good mark taken there by Big Craig Stewart at centre field. The ex-Magpie. It's a 15-metre penalty, so he should go for the long kick down to Roach. Let's see whether he does that or not.
Another one.
Got another 15-metre penalty. This brings him right up to centre half forward, so Roach should get back to the full forward position, which he's doing now. And I should imagine Stewart will go for another long kick to see whether the high flyer full forward can take that mark. Now he's going for a lead. Roach in front. At the back is Foreman, gone for the punch. Roach got his hands, but Foreman won't give up. He's a real terrier down there at fullback for East Fremantle. And the umpire will ball it up about 15 metres out or 20 metres out from the Richmond goal. And they're in front by 3 points. Knocked out by Big Barley. 6'6". Roach gets a hand pass, picked up by Foreman. That's a high kick back there towards Wake. Wake and Larkins go for it. Larkins in the front position. The umpire's paying the mark to Larkins. Well, I don't know about that one, Robert. I think that was a 50-50 job.
Well, bad defensive work there, Lou. Whether he was a mark or not, Wake should not have tried to go for the mark from behind, as Larkins tries to bring up goal number 3 for the turn.
Well, is he on target? No, he's off target and through for 1 point. So the Tigers lead now by 4 points. 4 goals, 4. I think it's 4 goals, 3. I'm sorry, 4 goals, 3-27 to East Fremantle, 3-5-23. Wolf short pass again coming from Green. Picked up here now by little Bushell at half back. East Fremantle still going pretty fast to try and get this ball down to their half-forward line, but there's a good mark by Rowlings, shaping up as Richmond's best player at the moment. Ball drops short, and it's the big fella, Barling, going for a hand pass out wide. Coming in to meet it now is Eustace, having a bit of trouble getting away from Jones of East Fremantle. Good play again as we see the ball tapped away that time by Brennan, but the ball is finally forced down. I think it may have been kicked over the line by Gepp, and it'll be a penalty-free kick to East Fremantle.
Bad luck for Gepp. It rebounded off his knee after it was hit onto it. They couldn't really do much about it.
No, there's nothing at all he could do.
Got the free kick against him. Must agree, Rowlings going in pretty solidly. Larkins again. Barry's been playing a pretty good sort of a game so far. Foreman, a hurried hand pass. Bushell, short. Out towards centre wing left for East Fremantle. Loose ball. Who's going to get there first? Ball socket off the ground towards the boundary line. Going in pretty solidly as Lovell. Accommodating him is Kerr. It's out of bounds. It will be a boundary throw in half forward right now for the Richmond side.
Richmond looking a lot better now, Bob. Been a bit more aggressive.
They're applying a lot more pressure to East Fremantle, which is preventing them from using the ball as good as they did in the first quarter.
McKenna wearing the head guard, can't pick it up, the former Footscray player. Kerr goes for the knock-on for East Fremantle, not successful. It's out of bounds once more, this time on centre wing. 27 for Richmond. Larkins has kicked 2 goals this term, so I think he'd be pretty happy with that effort. The Tigers showing a little bit more desperation after a bit of a tongue lashing at quarter time by Paul Sproul. Turco's kick, well smothered. Good tackle by Rioli and picked up by McKenna. McKenna's kick is a high one, only travels about 30 metres, or the mark missed down there by Browning. But the umpire has paid a free kick.
Interference, mate.
And Browning gets a 15-metre penalty as well, which brings him up to the edge of the square. He plays on, long kick, going diagonally across the ground, which is not the best way to travel here at VFL Park. Certainly the long way home. Now a chance for Jones. Jones has gone for a pass, trying to find Peake. He fumbles. So too is the big fellow down there in Baxter, and the ball is out of bounds in the right forward pocket. East Fremantle now a chance to score. They've added only 1 behind so far in the term, which is 11.5 minutes old. Baxter knocks it down. Can't find a rover. It's picked up by Annear. He couldn't get rid of it either. A real scramble developing out there, and the umpire has decided on a bounce.
And we're just on the 12-minute mark. Still 4 points the difference in favour of Richmond. 27 plays 23, and a chance for East Fremantle to score. Baxter couldn't get that one. Stewart beating for it. There's a chance now for Kerr. He's upended. Going down as Gepp. It must be pretty slippery out there, but he taps the ball on, looking for Rowlings on the boundary line. He goes down too. And finally we see the ball driven up there by Lovell. Ball pushed away from Barling. Tapped on again. And they're battling pretty hard down there, both sides, but not making progress. But the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Rioli out there towards the wing position. Rioli's kick is well over the half-forward line. Roach in the front posse. Got one hand as a chance for Jimmy Jess. Runs to an open goal. Let's fly. He's up target and through for 1 point. Oh, Jimmy, what did you do there?
He missed it.
There was a chance of a lifetime for Jimmy to put them 10 points in front. Waiting on the ball to come back into play by Wake of East Fremantle. Kicks the ball out towards the half-back line. Jess in front. Lockyer gets at the back of him there, but Jess has got the mark.
He could make amends with this kick.
Well,
he's not that far out for him.
Well, he'd be about 45 to 50 metres out, but Jimmy Jess could kick that distance if he gets onto one without any worry. There's Jess coming in for his second kick at the goals. That's not a bad sort of a kick either. It's a goal to Jimmy Jess.
It's a bad tactical error by young Lockyer there, and I'll be very surprised if, well, the runner's already out there now, as we saw Lockyer come right down from half forward, bring Jimmy Jess with him, and then stay there instead of getting back onto his own attacking area of the ground by bringing Jess right down to that position and brought Jess as centre half back into an attacking player.
It was bad play on the part of Lockyer, the centre half forward for East Fremantle. I must agree, Bob. Back in the centre, they're leading by 11 points now, Richmond, and looking a lot better. The ball knocked out by Stewart. There's a chance for Larkins. He's upended and goes little man Waring. Fumbles the ball. McKenna can't get a kick. He was grabbed. Chance now for coming out of the pack is Brennan of East Fremantle. He can't get clear. And Green goes down, but finally gets a hand pass, or was it a throw out to Turco? But he gets a touch of the slip still and loses the ball. They're all going in pretty hard as we see the big fella Baxter. He can't bend down, and the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Richmond. It'll go to little McKenna out there at half forward. He doesn't waste any time. He's gone for a short pass.
He'll have to come back.
And the umpire is calling him back, even though Larkins has taken the mark. And Larkins has already kicked 2 goals this quarter. There we see on the phone Ronnie Alexander. Last time he played here was 4 years ago. A short pass, and Roach has got the mark. And Roach would only be about 25 to 30 metres out, and number 8 for Richmond's already kicked 1 goal.
There's a distance that Roach has to line up with.
And I would say, Bob, that without any fear of contradiction, they've got to play Roach at full forward all the time, because that's his true position. Remembering a couple of years ago, he kicked over 100 goals for the Tigers and looked a real champion. Here he comes in for goal number 2. And what's he done with it? That's a goal.
So 2 goals to Michael Roach, and I feel sure, Lou, that with Brian Taylor out of the way, there won't be any
argument, is there?
There won't
really?
be any question about where Michael Roach will be playing with the Tigers.
You never know what coaches do these days, Bob. You can never be too sure of it.
I wouldn't mind betting that Roach is at full forward, and it was a lovely pass from Michael McKenna. It'll give McKenna a lift to be able to bring Roach into the play in that fashion.
Richmond have kicked 4 goals this quarter, and East Fremantle have added only 1 behind, so it certainly has been the Tigers' term after that tongue lashing by Paul Sproul at quarter time. Chance for Richmond again. Eustace to Rioli. Barling. I wonder if they'll call him Darling Barling. Rowlings gets grabbed seemingly when not in possession, but wins out, playing a great game, Barry Rowlings. He's gone for a pass. This is okay, and it's picked up by Burton, the former Footscray player, up towards full forward again. No one can take the mark. Here's a chance for McKenna. He's gone for a hand pass. Larkins has already kicked 2, couldn't get rid of it. Umpire's found a free kick.
He pulled his head off then.
It will be a free kick, not much doubt about that. Johnny Annear will take it.
I must admit, the way that there's no doubt about that as we watch it on replay, but the way the East Fremantle boys are struggling at the moment, I'm surprised that Alexander hasn't come on the ground and tried to give them a lift from
Yes.
even just for 5 minutes or so. And it is the role of a captain and coach. And if they were able to get the ball away from the centre on just a couple of occasions, in the first term, they did lead to the ball, but it's been a complete reversal in this second quarter. Richmond all over the ground now. They're doing the running, and they're taking the game up to and away from East Fremantle, almost in the same manner that East Fremantle did in the first term.
That's right.
Alexander perhaps thinking that at the moment. Still hasn't come on the ground, started on the bench, and he has remained there. We're nearly at half-time, 3 minutes to go, or perhaps just a fraction less. 23 points the difference now, just over 17 minutes gone in the second quarter. And the umpire has found a centre square infringement, and the free kick will be going towards East Fremantle. It's taken by Brian Peake. Jimmy Jess in the road, gets 2 hands to the ball, can't mark it. A chance for Burton. Well, gets one after he got rid of the ball. Eustace racing for the ball racing for the boundary line, and in fact is the winner. It will be thrown in at half-forward right for East Fremantle, who, as I said, have added only 1 behind to their score at quarter time, 3-5 after 3-4. Throw in adjacent to the trainer's bunker. Harding doing battle with Stewart. Harding wins it. Kerr off the ground, close, knocked away by Strachan. Here's a chance for East Fremantle, and soccering the ball through is Waterson for only 1 point. Well, they badly needed a goal there, and that doubles their score of this term. It's 3-6 to 7-4.
And we're just over the 18-minute mark as we see the ball grabbed down there in the back pocket by Annear. Annear's kick is short. The big fella Darling flies. Cop one to go on with. Rioli tried to give. There's Barling going after it again. Can't get clear. And the umpire said holding the ball against the big fellow. Only a youngster, 6'6". And to get the free kick will be the little rover Bushell out there on the centre wing position. Well, East Fremantle in plenty of trouble. Now they're trailing by 22 points. As the ball goes down there towards their forward pocket. Punched away again. Finally, it comes back now to Main Waring's. Kick is off the ground towards Turco. Turco didn't go in for that one hard enough. This allows Lovell to pick it up, and he fumbles. Stewart falls on top of it. Tiger's not giving much away now as Turco goes after it again, having a bit of trouble picking it up. Finally tries to tap it on. Back to Lovell again, fumbling by both sides. Finally coming out of the pack is Simpson for Richmond. Goes for a pass. Gepp dropped an easy one that time. There's a go now as we see slipping over this time is Renstead. Gets a hurried kick. He just about got one in the back up towards the full forward position. A snap at goal that time by Lockyer. And it's off target now to bounds. And it will be a throw in from that forward pocket position. About 5 metres around from the point post. Just on the 19.5-minute mark. 30 seconds to go for the end of this second quarter. The Foster's Football Cup. The second of the year. 1985. The ball knocked out again. There's a chance now for Lockyer, a bit slow, picked up by Turco, ran into all the trouble about the place. The ball pushed out now, and it's little Main Waring. He's grabbed it. The umpire says plans. We see Francis drive it back there on a mark taken in defence by Brown, or centre half forward by Browning. This is Browning. Goes for a pass. Harding in front, but there's the siren to end the second quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. And Richmond 7 goals, 4-46 to East Fremantle, 3-6-24. And Bob, that was certainly a better quarter, particularly the second half of that second quarter by Richmond. They tackled a lot harder, and I just felt that East Fremantle possibly lost a little bit of concentration because they were doing all the tackling and playing with a lot more initiative than the Tigers in the first quarter and a half.
I think in that first quarter they had all of the enthusiasm. They were running on, they were leading to the ball, and then when Richmond kicked a couple of goals during that second quarter, East Fremantle lost a bit of their momentum, and it was Richmond who lifted their performance. They played much tighter against East Fremantle. They didn't allow East Fremantle to run up the ground and make position and use the ball anywhere near as well as they were able to in the first quarter. And even though Mark Lee was forced to go off the ground, and Barling coming on to centre half forward did well, Roach, although he's only kicked 2 goals, is still giving him a focal point at the full forward. We mentioned about the mistake that Lockyer had made by bringing Jimmy Jess right down the ground, and that enabled Jess to show us what a magnificent kick he is. Had 2 shots at goal, and his second was a magnificent goal. At half-time, it's Richmond 7 goals, 4-46, with East Fremantle 3-6-24.
Break.
No, Lee coming off the ground, Pete.
It looks that way, doesn't it, Bob?
Well, they're not taking any chances with their new skipper, and he's a vital part of Richmond for 1985. A great ruckman and a great player. And, of course, he doesn't look as though he's hampered too badly with that ankle injury at the moment, Bob, and they're not taking a chance, seeing they're leading by 22 points at the halfway mark of this Foster's Football Cup, the second for the 1985 season, Pete.
Well, it's an ideal opportunity for them to experiment a little bit. They're trying Craig Stewart in there and the young Barling at centre half forward, and Stewart did start off at centre half forward, and so it's an ideal chance now, and I'm sure if...
Break.
No, Lee coming off the ground, Pete.
It looks that way, doesn't it, Bob?
Well, they're not taking any chances with their new skipper, and he's a vital part of Richmond for 1985, a great ruckman and a great player. And, of course, he doesn't look as though he's hampered too badly with that ankle injury at the moment, Bob, and they're not taking a chance, seeing they're leading by 22 points at the halfway mark of this Foster's Football Cup, the second for the 1985 season, Pete.
Well, it's an ideal opportunity for them to experiment a little bit. They're trying Craig Stewart in there and the young Barling at centre half forward, and Stewart did start off at centre half forward, and so it's an ideal chance now, and I'm sure if the game started to slip away at all, then you would find Lee coming back on the ground.
Third quarter, Richmond lead by 22 points as we begin the term from VFL Park. Chance now for East Fremantle. Kerr overruns the ball, and picking it up is Jones. Jones down towards right half forward. Loose ball. Alexander getting into the action pretty smartly, but he's beaten for it by Francis. His kick is a short one, and it's a mark taken out there by Wilson. Wilson just short of the right half forward flank. Jess getting underneath the ball. Safe pair of hands. Doesn't mess around. Over to Stewart. Stewart goes wide, out towards centre wing, trying to find Zakarski. Holt made a mess of it. Now it's a hand pass coming out in the direction of Maurice Rioli. Rioli's kick is a long one down towards full forward. Roach, second grab. It's not his mark, though. He has to play on. Hooks it away from Foreman. The ball bounding towards the goal. Waite should get there first, and does. It's rushed through for one behind. The opening score of the second half of the match. 47 plays 24, and that score came up at the 1 minute mark of the third term. Number 47 is Regan, one of the younger members of the East Fremantle side. He's gone for a short pass, and that's okay. The mark is taken out there by Browning.
Regan's a very famous family at East Fremantle, Pete.
Kerr had his name written on that one. Had a good first quarter, but drifted out of the play a little bit in the second. Then again, I think we could apply the same comment to many of his teammates when Richmond really piled on the goals and East Fremantle failed to score one. Jess tapping the ball wide out towards the boundary line. He kicked a great goal during the second quarter. Jess and the ball getting bundled over the line. We'll see a boundary throw in. 47 plays 24, 1 minute and 3/4 gone in the third term. Alexander getting set to do battle with Jimmy Jess. Alexander trying to get the front position, has to beat two of them. Zakarski getting scragged by two players likewise. Peak went down, socket off the ground by Alexander. Loose ball, a chance for East Fremantle to pick the ball up. Brennan getting scragged, couldn't get rid of the ball, kicked into play by Peak. Beautiful pass by the Sandover medalist, and the mark is taken down there for East Fremantle by Bushell.
Bushell making a big mistake there. He did not turn around and have a look forward because he had Mainwaring all on his own.
Bushell with a chance to score here. There's the shot on its way, but he's off target and it's through for 1 point. So it's Richmond 7 goals, 5:47 to East Fremantle 3:7:25. Just over the 2.5 minute mark of this, the second quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. Third quarter, and the mark taken there by Larkins. A hand pass coming over to France. A little bit slow to get rid of that one. A hand pass coming out that time from East Fremantle. Oh, it was a bad kick. Intercepted again, finally picked up by Burton. Punched out by Wake. The ball driven down there by Holt, but a good safe mark taken there by Stewart. Stewart goes wide to the wing position, and there we see Annear to take the mark. Doesn't waste any time. A hand pass coming over to Lovell. Two ex-Collingwood players playing there together. Short pass to Rowlings, got under that one. Finally, a hand pass comes back again and kicked off the ground by Rowlings. Not a good kick out towards the boundary line. Going after it now is little Eustace. Eustace gets around two players very smartly as he drives the ball back there towards centre half forward. Punched away by Green. They're all missing. It must be pretty slippery out there as the ball finally comes back to Jimmy Jess. He couldn't get through, but he certainly made his presence felt there as he went through. And finally, it's Turco coming out of the pack with the ball for East Fremantle. Oh, Strachan dropped an easy one. Punched on again, that time by Waterson down towards the forward pocket. Snap for goal. by Peake. And the ball is going close, kicked off the ground. It'll be a goal. And it's kicked off the ground by Wilson. A goal.
It was a good goal by Wilson and a good play by Waterson as he tapped the ball wide to allow Peake to gain the ball and put it up to the square. On replay, we watch as Alexander has the ball knocked away. Wilson swooping in there to kick the ball off the ground, and a badly needed goal to East Fremantle.
First since the first quarter, Lou.
Approaching the 4.5-minute mark, 47 plays, 31, 16 points the difference into the third quarter. Chance for Stewart to knock this one down to Annear. It successfully got one on the back that time, but the umpire said play, and it came from Bushell, but the umpire will ball it up down towards the East Fremantle centre half forward position. Now he's found a free kick.
And Johnny Annear arguing. In the meantime, play continues, and a chance for the Sharks here. They're looking good. They certainly look better when they attack this goal. Kerr tackling hard. And ball driven out of the danger zone for Richmond by Eustace, and the mark is taken by Winton. Richmond swing into attack. It's Gepp. The hand pass back to Winton. Too long for Rioli over his head. Dispossessed pretty quickly. Foreman. What? No, it's not Foreman. It's
Browning.
Number 10, Browning. Sikorsky on the bottom of that stack up. The umpire has decided, I think, wisely on a bounce. And that will take place at half forward now for the East Fremantle side. 47 plays 31 when we're into the third quarter by 5.5 minutes. Knocked down by Stewart. Turco is there. Had it and then lost it, and I think I must agree with you, Lou. It's obviously pretty slippery out there because the player's finding it very hard to handle the ball with any degree of safety. So this throw in now, as you can see, in the forward pocket right for East Fremantle. Alexander jockeying for the front position, gets it, but the umpire has found a free kick. In fact, it's going to the coach of East Fremantle, Ron Alexander. Now back in the West some 4 years. It doesn't seem that long. Only 40 metres out from goal. A slight angle. It'll be a valuable one if he can notch it. It looks okay from here, but just off target, I fancy, and one behind. 7-5 to 4-8. 15 points the difference. As we await the ball to come back into play from Greg Strachan. Strachan, one of the veterans in the Tiger side, goes towards the outer side of the ground, trying to find Jess rather. Ball drops a little bit short for him. Gepp putting in that tackle. Strachan in front and takes the mark in front of Alexander. Long kick by Strachan towards the outer side. Larkins couldn't take the mark. It's out of bounds, and once again we'll see a boundary throw in. Larkins, Richmond's leading goal kicker, with 2 along with Michael Roach. 21 is Harding, doing battle with Stewart. A chance for the Tigers now through Burton, gives it to Rowlings. Rowlings has gone for a short pass up towards the point of the square where he finds Eustace, the former Essendon player. Down towards centre half forward, and a good mark taken by Barling. He decides to play on, getting it to Jimmy Jess. He's a long kick. Jess fires at the goal and has put it through for, I think, one behind. In fact, he has done. And so the Richmond score 7-6, East Fremantle 4-8.
16 points the difference. That was nice play on the part of Barling then, Bob.
This is very impressive, Lou.
Ball back into play by Foreman, a short kick. And it's marked down here by Jones. Jones's kick is off the side of the boot, actually, down towards that half-forward line. Punched away again by Harding. Going after his Rioli, showing a lot of dash. Let's fly up towards the goals. Coming towards the goals. Oh, it's pushed away that time by Bushell and through and out of bounds. Right against the point post. Umpire will throw it in. Richmond still in front by 16 points. They've got a chance to score here. Ball back into play again. Barling against Harding. Barling got that knocked down. McKenna had a fresh air shot. They pile in there, and the umpire's going to ball it up about 10 metres out from the Richmond goal. 7-6, 48 Richmond to East Fremantle 4-8, 32, just over the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. Harding again. Well, actually, that was out by Barling. Bushell can't pick it up. They pounce on top of him. There's a Green down there too. They're fumbling. Turco goes in after it, finally gets a hand pass back looking for Green, but the ball beats him and still out of bounds in the forward pocket position in Richmond's attacking zone. This time it's about 20 metres around from their goal. It'll be Barling against Harding. Browning coming over to assist there. Punched out by Barling again. Little Bushell scouting out nicely, gets a kick around towards the wing position. And that time Renstead couldn't hold the mark for East Fremantle. It's out of bounds again. The East Fremantle defence gradually getting the ball away from the Tigers' full forward position. It's on their half forward line now. About 65 metres around from the Tiger goal. Nearly a free kick to Barling. Green goes down, finally picked up by Rioli, looking for Roach. There's two of them against him. He hasn't got much chance here. Knocked to the ground and picked up beautifully by Browning. Got around his opponent nicely as he goes for a short pass. And it's marked here by Renstead at half-back. His kick is down towards the half-forward line, over the head of the pack that time. Falling on top of the ball was Zagarski, couldn't get clear. Finally gets it out to Rowlings. He's grabbed, the umpire said, dropping the ball. A bit severe on Rowlings that time.
Bit of a dust-up.
Bit of a Donnybrook going on now. Well, that's par for the course for this Foster's Football Cup. It just certainly livens up things. Jimmy Jess is there trying to separate a few and also give one to go on with every time they just...
Can't imagine Jimmy doing that.
We watch again as Rowlings was well tackled.
There's the kick on its way. That time kicked up there by Brennan, and a good mark in defence taken there by Stewart at full back. Into this quarter by just over 10 minutes. It's Richmond 7-6-48 to East Fremantle 4-8-32.
Stewart's kick dropping a little bit short, very close to the boundary line, and there he is, the ghost himself. Jimmy Jess, half back left. He's gone for a pass to Eustace. Eustace back up towards centre field, and good safe mark taken by Barling. To Burton. Burton short. Now towards the point of the square, looking for a teammate out there. Now it's picked up by Gepp. Francis started in defence. Annear. Oh, he's got plenty of room. Johnny Annear shoots at goal. Should score a goal from there. No one was near him, but he's missed it and put it through for only one behind. So a bad miss from only about 20 metres out by Annear. 7-7 to 4-8 now in the Foster's Cup from VFL Park. Richmond still doing it well. The umpire has found a mark. It's Roach. He's kicked 1-2 goals so far. Possibly a little bit too far out even for Roach. Looking for the big guy. Barling positioned himself well in the goal square. Wake fumbled the ball. Couldn't get rid of it. A real stack-up developing there. In goes Larkins. Well, Rowlings tried to soccer the ball off the ground, could have given away a free kick, and in fact the umpire has ruled against him, and the free kick will be taken by Renstead. Renstead a little bit up from the full-back position, decides to go straight down the ground with the long kick. Sensible tactics here at VFL Park. Jess in front, takes a very good grab, gets it in turn to Lovell. Another former Collingwood player, a short pass, and that's a beauty. Roach again. This time Michael Roach pretty well directly in front of goal. Would be given a very good chance of kicking this one. Beautiful pass, Bob, wasn't it?
Oh, there's Lovell reading the play beautifully then as he came right down the ground, took the hand pass off Jess, and it's lovely to see a pass like that.
Sort of reminds me of Barry Price a little bit a few years back. Peter McKenna, I think, would vouch for that. And it's a goal. Roach is there.
Well, no doubt 3 goals so far and a couple of other nice marks and long kicks would give Roach a lot of confidence going into this season. And it's not easy to kick goals with that slightly slippery ball, and so but on replay we see a lovely pass from Lovell, and Roach after that making no mistake.
Nearly 13 minutes gone now in the third term. 8-7 to 4-8. 3 goals to Michael Roach.
And the ball into Richmond's attacking zone again. Pushed out towards Larkins. Kicked off the ground by the defence. That was Pete coming across to kick that one. It comes back to Green. He's having a bit of trouble picking it up. Gets it down there in the back pocket position. Hooks it back towards the forward pocket. Eustace pounced on it. Nearly copped one in the face.
Out of bounds, Luke.
From Wilson, and it's out of bounds. About 45 metres around from the Richmond goal. There's 8-7-55 to East Fremantle 4-8-32. 13 and a half minutes gone of this third quarter of the Foster's Football Cup, the second for the series. Ball kicked by Annear, not a good one. Umpires call play on the ball. Finally picked up that time by Harding. Harding's kick doesn't travel a great deal of distance, and an easy mark taken here by Stewart. But the umpire call play as Renstead gets a hand pass out there, and it's a man wearing down there, and a good mark taken here by Waterson at centre half forward. And Mainwaring making position there, but he's ignored. Waterson goes for the long kick, looking for Big Alexander.
Could be downfield or another kick.
Yes, it'll be a 15-metre penalty, or will it be downfield? 15 metres. And this gives Waterson a chance to land this right in the goal square, if not score a goal.
The Lottie coming on for East Fremantle, number 11.
Waiting on Waterson to have this shot. There it is on its way. Doesn't quite make the distance. Alexander doing a bit of pushing and shoving, but it's finally, no, it's forced over the line and out of bounds right against the point post in East Fremantle's attacking zone. So it's still 32 plays 55 in favour of Richmond. 14.5 minutes gone of this third quarter. Knocked down to Annear. Taps the ball and he played it safe and out of bounds. Alexander Appear, he said he knocked it out deliberately. The umpire's responding. So it'll be a free kick to Turco. Jimmy Jess.
We'll watch again on replay. And we probably just missed the piece where he put it forward.
Well, it's Turco to fire from about 5 metres out. The angle pretty difficult. This fellow had a bit of a stint with North Melbourne. Never really made the grade, but he's doing okay over there with East Fremantle since he went back. There's the kick, and it'll be all right. It's a goal, so they're fighting back.
You won't know whether or not there is a bit of a breeze that's favouring this end at all, but East Fremantle have come back out. I'm sure that they would have had a long talk at half-time and were determined to come out and really fly back at Richmond. But we'll watch again as we see just why the free kick was paid by the umpire, and a costly one from John Annear's point of view.
Just over 15.5 minutes gone, and East Fremantle fighting back there. 5-8-38 to Richmond, 8-7-55. 17 points the difference.
A chance for East Fremantle now as it's Winstead taking the ball forward. He's gone for a hand pass, picked up by Brian Peake. Peake's kick also dropping short. The umpire's found a free kick though for a hip out, and it will be Turco to take the free kick again. So Turco, who kicked the last goal. I don't think he'll kick this one. He's about 55 metres out at least. Kicks the ball high and long. Looking for Alexander. He's got it! Oh, what a kick! Great kick and shepherded through by the captain coach, Ron Alexander. Did some great work there in the square, Bob, but what a kick.
Yes, it was a magnificent kick, and Turco really showing the difference, as that time, after putting one through with a drop punt from the angle, looking for distance on that occasion, he decided on the torpedo punt kick, got the distance, and a good piece of shepherding by Ron Alexander.
Well, that was half Ron Alexander's goal, I would say, Bobby.
Well, all of a sudden, East Fremantle back in with a pretty good chance now. It's only 11 points in it, 55 plays 44 at VFL Park. Knocked down by Stewart, didn't get it very far. Rioli can't get far likewise. In goes Winstead. Mainwaring's kick short up towards half forward. Jess getting well underneath the ball. Richmond defending desperately, is driven away by Lovell out towards centre wing over the head of Wake. And picked up down there by Browning. Browning's gone for a pass, chips it into the centre. Intended for Kerr, but it was knocked well away from him. And that was by Stewart. Driven out wide by Bushell. Very, very awkward bounce. In goes Rowlings, and out goes Rowlings, and likewise the ball. Bellotti fumbling there, number 11. He just came on, and Barry Rowlings has cramp, I think. As a Karski it was, or is. Boundary throw in. Picked up by Lovell. He's gone for a hand pass now. Rowlings this time. Gets offloaded over the boundary line. Wake is there likewise. Browning has the ball, but I think it's over, and once again we'll see a boundary throw in. 55 plays 44, 18 minutes gone in the term.
Zulkowski not too good at the moment.
I think it's only cramp, Bob, isn't it?
I would imagine so, Pete.
It would appear to be such, the way they're working on the boots there and the ankles. Winstead had a very good game tonight. Jess goes the punch away. Mainwaring had it and then fumbled. Picked up by Turco, who's kicked 2 goals this quarter. Wilson and Gepp both overrun the ball. Oh, some very clever tactics. Down to Wilson again. That was from Jones. but Francis for Richmond clears the ball well.
Good play on the part of France. That'll be a free kick and a mark out there to Larkins, I think it is. Yes, Larkins to take that free kick at half-back. Goes for a hand pass over Stewart. Only 11 points the difference. The Tigers under pressure. Oh, he was caught that time. Back it goes to Gepp. The Tigers have the ball out there at half-back. It drops short. And there's a good mark in defence by Browning again. He's played pretty well since quarter time, this fellow at centre half-back. It drops short. Jess went up one-handed. And that's Winton backing up well there at centre half-back. Goes for the long driving kick out towards that half-forward line. Barling flies high. Couldn't hold the mark with the Tigers. There's a chance now for McKenna to get a hand pass back. Back it goes towards Regans. Finally, it's little Larkin again, but he's grabbed a hand pass. Comes back there to Peake. Peake grabs the ball, goes for a short pass. Out to Mainwaring, but he couldn't hold the mark, and it's out of bounds. So it's out of bounds on Richmond's half-forward line, about 70 metres around from their goal, and they're struggling at the moment, only 11 points in front.
Zukaski off the ground, Lou, with that cramp.
Ball back into play again. Driven up there by Richmond, up there towards the full forward position. It's a long kick. Roach going after it. Foreman's right on his tail. It beats them both, and the ball is out of bounds in the forward pocket, about 10 metres around from the Tiger point post. 8-7-55 Richmond to East Fremantle 6-8-44. Not that he's done a great deal, except he helped in one goal, Ronnie Alexander, but his presence on the ground has made the difference. There we see Annear pick it up, but he goes down. His kick is not a good one. A hand pass coming back there from Larkins. Over it goes to little Simpson. A snap at goal, but right across the face of goals. There's a chance now for Regan to pick it up down there in the back pocket. Goes for a short pass. Coming in to meet it now is Burton. Burton's kick is not a great one. Once again, it's going for hand passes. Peake. Fumbling going on by both sides, but the umpire said there's a free kick, one in the back. It will go to little Bushell down there in the back pocket. A quick hand pass coming over to Wake. Showing plenty of pace, gets away from his Tiger opponent. Winstead went up one hand, picked up by Rioli. Good play by Rioli that time. Down it goes to Roach. He got one in the back from Foreman. Chance to get the ball back. They went down like 9 pence. Foreman backing out. Well, gave the hand pass to the wrong man to Annear. They've got a goal out of it. Oh,
Yes, well, Foreman was just trying to get the ball over the head of Annear, but completely off balance, and there was almost no way that he could get the distance, and well, there's not much else that he possibly could do. And maybe try and punch it through for a point, but just didn't look like getting the distance to go over the head of Annear.
.61 plays 44 now at the 21.5-minute mark of the third quarter. So certainly some bad luck there for East Fremantle. Alexander loses that one out to Stewart, doing well in the centre bounces in the absence of Mark Lee, who is sidelined at the moment with an ankle injury. Although for Tiger supporters just tuning in, he didn't appear too bad when he led the side out after half-time. Nobody gets really a decisive tap out there, picked up by Rowlings. Now towards centre wing again. A chance for Simpson. He's gone for a short pass, and here takes it. He'll give it over to Roach. Roach going goalwards once more. He's gone for a hand pass into the square, and a chance down there for a goal coming up through James. That's his first. And first in senior football too. 10-7 to 6-8 at VFL Park.
Yes, well, young James obviously delighted, and Richmond too. You can see the expression on all of the players as James finished up with that ball. Annear giving it across to Roach. Roach with a long hand pass, and James saying, thank you very much. I'll make no mistake about that one.
What a fair game in here too, Bob.
He's coming to the game, Lou, but he does work hard.
Richmond once again asserting their ascendancy. 67 plays 44. The difference 23 points. It was 22 points the difference at half-time. And so East Fremantle not able to get back into the match at the moment, although they did get within 11 points earlier in this term. Francis now from centre half-back. Lobs the ball high. Gepp goes the knock on, not really successfully. Alexander tries to barge his way through. Bushell gives the hand pass out to Brian Peake. Peake goes for a short pass to Mainwaring. Up goes Kerr with one hand. They're hard to mark like that. Getting scragged as Wilson looks for a wild hand pass. And wild indeed it turned out to be. Eustace now tries to barge his way through, put his head down, a little bit slow to get rid of the ball. The umpire says so and plays the free kick accordingly. It will go out there to Jones. Jones, who's already kicked, Well, yet to score a goal for East Fremantle. Has a chance to bring up his first from about 50 metres out. Kick won't quite make the distance. It rebounds to Francis, 1 metre off the line. Francis goes for a little pass out to Burton. McKenna, another former Footscray player, figuring in the action. That will be a free kick to Jimmy Jess, I think.
I reckon.
Jimmy Jess taking the free kick in a little bit up from the right back pocket. Now he's got a 15-metre penalty. So just about at the half-back flank. Jess up to centre field. Barling goes the knock on. Wake back towards half forward now for East Fremantle. The Sharks breaking down at this department at the moment. Tiger defence doing pretty well, and the ball bundled over the boundary line in front of Turco.
Lovell.
That looks like Noel Lovell in a lot of pain. Seems to have got one on the forearm or thereabouts anyway. Let's hope he's okay with Leon. Well, there it is there. And he landed rather awkwardly, perhaps on the wrist or forearm, as I said. Perhaps we can get more from Stephen Phillips in just a few moments. The umpire has decided on a bounce in the right forward pocket for East Fremantle. Wearing the headguard is McKenna. 67-44, difference of 23 points.
Ball up now. Chance for East Fremantle to score. Picked up that time by Eustace. Not a good kick. Main Waring couldn't hold the mark. Backing up well as usual as Annear. Annear's kick is a high one out wide. Going after is Simpson, having a great race there with Bellotti. That time is kicked off the ground by Main Waring. Main Waring can't pick it up too well, but he finally does. Gets a short pass back to Kerr. Kerr at half back with a hand pass back to Bellotti again. Is grabbed, drops the ball. The umpire said it'll be a free kick against him. So the free kick to go to... it's Eustace taking that free kick at half back. Goes for the long one out towards the wing position. Punched on again by Barley. Packet comes to Regan at half back. After him is Rioli. Regan can't pick it up. No wonder he finally gets away from Rioli. Good play on the part of Regan as he sends the ball back there. Bushell goes high. Couldn't hold the mark. Umpires found a free kick, and Bushell will take the free kick on the wing as we go down now to Stephen Phillips' report on that injured player.
Thank you, Louis. Well, it looks as though Lovell's shoulder came out, popped out, he dislocated it and has gone halfway back in. They want to get him off, but unfortunately no players seem to be ready at the moment.
Well, that's Lovell going for it again. He's no doubt he's got a sore shoulder because he's running there carrying that left arm as the ball finally comes out towards the wing position. A great battle going on here, and it's finally forced over the line. We saw that time James trying to get there. He already kicked one goal in his first senior game with the Tigers. Pretty easy one coming for Roach, but just the same, he scored a goal. Ball knocked out again by Alexander, picked up by Annear. Over to Rowlings. Both Annear and Rowlings doing very well tonight. Bushell didn't go in hard enough that time as it's finally picked up by Rioli. Over to Eustace, and the Tigers go up there towards Roach. Oh, good play on the part of Foreman that time. A hand pass coming back to Browning. And East Fremantle get the ball away from the dangers. Oh, there's a push at the back of the head that time to Annear. And here gets a hand pass back to Rowlings. They're cooperating pretty well together as the ball finally goes out there. Oh, Barling dropped an easy one. This gives Main Waring a chance to get it back towards Regan in the centre of the ground. Has a chance at the score now if he goes for the long kick up there towards the full forward position. Getting under the ball was Waterson, finally knocked down to Simpson. Copped one across the face from Brennan. Gets it out wide, and we see breaking clear now as Burton goes for the long kick up there. Lovell off the ground as we see Peake take an easy one down there in defence at half-back. His kick is not a great one. Picked off the pack by Rioli. Now is a chance for the Tigers to go on to attack as we see Winton go for a tap-on as he gets a hand pass back from Gepp. Still plenty of fumbling. Alexander can't pick it up. And finally a kick by Eustace to centre half-back. Finally picked up by Annear. Weaves his straight through the pack beautifully. A long shot at goal. And what's the result?
Goal.
It's a goal.
A good piece of shepherding on that occasion by Michael Roach. An unusual piece of shepherding. It was more a push, and you could put that goal down as much to Roach as you could to Annear.
So John Annear figuring in the goals tonight, as has Michael Roach and Larkins for Richmond. 3 goals to John Annear, 3 goals to Michael Roach, the leading goal scorers for the Tigers. 73 plays 44. 28 and 3 or 28 and a half minutes gone. Winton in the hands of the trainers now, so it has been well, not a good one for Richmond injury-wise. Rioli's kick to half forward. Simpson with the knock away, picked up by Foreman for East Fremantle. His kick is along the ground and over the line. Subsequently, we will see a throw-in. And Lovell, I guess, the most serious injury tonight, if the shoulder is totally dislocated, would mean he's going to be out for a few weeks. Certainly not a good night for Noel. It has been a good night, though, for Barry Rowlings. He's played pretty well. He's gone for a short pass. That one slightly ill-directed, though, and the mark taken by Browning.
Played a fair game too, Pete.
He has, Louis. He's gone for a short pass on this occasion. Trying to find Jones, it is. Wake gets dispossessed pretty quickly. Jones again, though, butters up. A short pass in towards centre field. Kerr can't handle it. Sikorsky right on his hammer. Rowlings there. A little bit late on the scene. The umpires found a free kick. It will be going to Sikorsky just short of centre field. Looking for Maurice Rioli. Knocked away by Alexander. There's the long on the short of it. The Tigers come out with the ball. Main Waring dives on it for East Fremantle. Picked up by Simpson. He gets scragged. Did he have possession? The umpire calls play on. Kicked off the ground by Barling. And the mark is taken by Browning. Browning on centre wing has gone for a pass. Picked up by Turco. And there's the siren for three-quarter time. And Richmond looking in a very handy position. The scoreboard 11-7, 73 to East Fremantle, 6-8, 44.
And I think he's still growing. I don't know what age. I suppose he's around the age of 18 or 19. And of course, there was one bit of play. He tapped the ball on with or knocked the ball on to Richmond, and finally they got a goal. That was pretty smart play on the part of the big centre half forward. I don't think there's much chance of him being a ruckman because that position, the number one position, will be pretty well held by their skipper.
But you never
Mark
know
Lee.
what could happen. You look at tonight. You've got Mark Lee injured, and Craig Stewart looks as though he's coming off the ground, and Mark Lee going back on the ground.
Well, the injury can't be that bad then. So Mark Lee back onto the ground for the final quarter, or at least the first part thereof, as players take up their positions for the final stanza of the match. Richmond lead by 29 points as we begin the final term here at VFL Park, 11-7, 73 to 6-8, 44 in this Foster's Cup match from league headquarters in Melbourne. Picked up by Maurice Rioli. Kick number 12. Rioli down towards half forward for the Tigers. Winton steps in and takes a good mark, decides to play on. Just gets clear of Browning. A chance for McKenna over to Roach for goal number 4. If he's accurate, it's high and wide, and I think through for only one behind. And so the Tigers adding the first score of the last quarter, 74 to 44. That makes the difference, the even 5 goals. More back into play, and the mark spilt by Browning from Foreman. However, he makes amends pretty quickly. And the mark is taken out there a little bit short of half-back by Bellotti. Chips it up and turned to Harding, the big fellow. Harding a short pass. Mark taken by Turco, who kicked 2 goals in the third term. Former North Melbourne player, of course, tonight in similar covers. Ball kept in play. A chance for Bushell. Oh, he skids over. It must have been watered here. Of course, we did have a lot of rain on Saturday. He has a flying shot at goal and has put it through for full points. That's a great shot.
Well, he recovered well there, Bobby, because he was gone beyond recall, and to get up and kick a goal, I don't know whether he meant it. Well, I suppose he meant to do it, but I think there's a little bit of luck there.
Well, in retrospect, it may have been the best thing that happened because
he fumbled too.
But I did notice it looked like Francis in the goal square, and Francis did not know whether to come at him or prop, and then he came forward, went back, and well, in a case like that, you've got to take the bit between the teeth and gamble and come straight at the player.
24 points the difference now. That's just the start that East Fremantle needed in this final term. Can they keep going? Johnny Annear, one of the best players on the ground, picked up by Eustace. His kick is a short one out towards the point of the square. McKenna got a push in the back. The umpire says no free kick. A wild hand pass with Larkins looking for Rioli. He couldn't take it. A chance for East Fremantle now through Harding. It rebounds off the hands of Annear, who's played well. Player getting scragged there. The umpire says no free kick. It goes to Wake.
Wake eludes about 3 players. Nice. The kick wasn't so good. It's out wide. Ball pushed away again back there by Sikorsky down towards that half forward line. Coming in to meet it now is Holt. He goes for a short pass out to Jones. It's Sikorsky going after it again, but he fumbles and pushes the ball over the line and out of bounds on the centre wing position. The difference now 24 points. So they're not out of it completely, East Fremantle. Just over 2.5 minutes gone of this last quarter of the Foster's Football Cup. The second for the series, over to Annear again. He's grabbed by Wilson. The ball goes down there to Rowlings, who's played a pretty good game. That's a bad kick. Finally, it's picked up by Belotti out there, and he drives the ball over to Brennan. A hand pass coming back to Wilson again. He copped one in the head as he went down. In goes Gepp. He shows a lot of strength. He goes down. They pile in top of him there, and there'll be a ball up out there on that half-forward flank position. About 70 metres out from the Tiger goal. They're in front by 24 points. So it's not over yet by a long shot. Harding punches the ball on. Back there to Turco. Gets a hurried kick. Oh, nearly a mark to Brennan, but taken away from Brennan by Eustace out there at half-back. A short pass. He'll find Rowlings. Oh, he dropped that one, but it's pretty slippery. Going after Rowlings is Renstead. Picked it up beautifully. A hand pass. Coming over now to Jones, another short pass. Oh, there may be a free kick. No, it's picked up by Kerr. Hooks it back to Turco. He fumbles the ball. Couldn't pick it up. He falls on top of it again, and the ball is finally forced out of bounds. And that was Gepp taking it over the line. It's about, let me see, about 50 metres or 40 metres around from the East Fremantle goal. The goal here will make it interesting now as Alexander battles there with Lee. Ball punched away by Gepp, not a good one. Finally driven up there, but a mark taken here now by Harding at centre half forward for East Fremantle. Goes for the long kick. Coming out to meet it now is Waterson. Can't turn, gives a hand pass back to Mainwaring. He's clear. Gets around, goes for a hand pass over to Kerr. Kerr balks. A left foot snap. He slips off the side of his boot. It goes down towards the forward pocket. Mainwaring can't get there in time, and it's out of bounds. That was a good effort by the little wing player. Still 24 points the difference as we approach the 4.5 minute mark of this last quarter.
Lee and Alexander doing battle. It goes to Kerr. The kick slews off the side of the boot again. A chance for Jones. Jess is there. And once again, we'll see a boundary throw in. 4 3/4 minutes gone in the final term. Sikorsky, number 28.
Well, you've got to give them full marks for endeavour, Bob, because they haven't thrown the sponge in.
No, there's no way that East Fremantle, I think, as a football club, would ever do that, Lou. Their reputation right throughout is one of goers.
2 and 1. Alexander and Lee in that order. Jess looks for the hand pass. No one was there. The umpire says it's a holding the ball decision, and it's going to Ron Alexander, is it? No, it's going to Waterson, I think. Yes, Waterson to take the free kick. A former Richmond player.
And a left footer, so it would be an advantage from out there.
Pretty well within kicking distance, I would think. If they can get this one, it's going to make it interesting. I don't think it's a goal. It's through for one behind only. And so East Fremantle now bringing their score to 51 points. They trail Richmond by 23. We've been playing in the final quarter, 5.5 minutes.
They want a goal here very quickly, Bob, to have a chance.
Francis goes for a short pass. He was trying to find Eustace, but Eustace was well covered. And the Tigers get clear through Simpson. Simpson's kick up towards centre wing. 47 is Regan. Keeps the ball in play, or does he? A whistle has gone.
Penalising the side.
Yeah,
surely it is.
A push in the back, but Harding was clear.
Actually, speaking of Harding, Lou, he's a very impressive big player, and it's not hard to understand why Ron Alexander was loath not to go into the ruck straight after half-time.
Renstead's kick. Up towards full forward. Plenty of Richmond defenders are there, including Strachan. He couldn't pick up the ball. Gepp went through without it. Turco dives on top of it. The umpire has decided on a bounce. And temper's just becoming a little bit frayed out there. East Fremantle really trying to get back into this match. 6.5 minutes gone. They've kicked the only goal in the final quarter so far. Alexander and Lee having a great battle. Honours just about even so far. Jones's kick was well smothered.
Ronnie Alexander went in there, didn't he?
Did he what? Kerr fumbles. Richmond players not giving an inch down there on the last line of defence. That was Gepp. Now towards the wing position again. A loose ball. Who's going to get there first? Regan, I think, but this time it's over the boundary line. We'll see a throw in.
Just on the 7-minute mark of this last quarter. 11-8-74. Richmond to East Fremantle 7-9-51. A difference of 23 points. East Fremantle badly needing a goal. They're going to have a chance in this game. Ah, good mark to Winton against Regan that time. He's got the mark out there at half-back. His kick is smothered. There's a chance now for Harding to drive it well up to full 40. Goes for a short pass. It's a bit too long for Brennan. Kicked off the ground by Waterson. And the ball thrown away by Zakowski down there towards the goals, but a fumble by Francis. Alexander can kick it off the ground. He's gone through for a goal, and it is.
We must admire the way that East Fremantle are really taking this game to Richmond. Harding in the middle of things, got that lovely pass across. I've been very impressed with the youngster who came on in young Regan, and we'll watch it on replay now. And as Ronnie Alexander finishes up with a soccer-style goal. But I've been very impressed, as I said, with young Regan since he came onto the ground, and he hardly has made a mistake.
Just over the 8-minute mark, only 17 points the difference. Richmond 74 to East Fremantle 57. The centre bounce. Knocked out by Lee. Fumbled by Annear. Hand pass comes out to Harding. Finally driven out towards Rowlings. Oh, he copped one there. He's fumbled the ball. They go after him. Grabbed by Mainwaring. Mainwaring still goes after him. Finally gets a kick. Good play by the little wing player. A fumble that time by East Fremantle as they pile on top of the ball. And that was, let me see, that was Wilson. He's getting a nasty knock there on his elbow for East Fremantle. The ball up at centre field again. Lee against Harding. Knocked out by Lee. That time Winton couldn't get it clear. It's finally Rowlings coming out of the pack with strong play to drive it over the half-forward line. Roach is really covered there by the fullback Foreman, kicked off the ground by Wake. Out it goes wide to Browning. It bounces okay. Nearly copped one in the face that time from Larkin. Finally, Browning gets the kick back. And there we see little McKenna take a good mark out there on the centre wing position. He's grabbed, and they really got their tails up in the air now. East Fremantle, as we see Turco drive it up there towards Bushell. Coming out to meet it now is Waterson. He balked, goes for a hand pass down there towards the forward pocket. Picked up here now. Jones having a running shot for goal, but he's off target and it's through for 1 point. So it's 16 points the difference now.
Well, they're peppering the goals, aren't they, Bob?
All over the field. They've lifted their game, and I think they can smell that they've got a taste of victory, although they've still got a long way to go yet.
Francis to Rioli. Rioli's played a very good game for Richmond after perhaps a slow start, but then again there was some controversy whether he'd actually play tonight. Simpson, he's kicked a goal for the Tigers. He won't score with that kick, though. A long one down towards half forward. Now there's a chance for Barry Rowlings. Rowlings steadies and shoots. They want one here, and he's just about got it, I think, Rowlings. He has. And that's just what East Fremantle didn't want. Barry Rowlings putting through his first goal, 12-8 to 8-10.
There was a bit of bad luck there, the East Fremantle player slipping over, Bob.
Yes, we didn't quite see on the replay there. And luck, I won't say luck's a fortune, because you do make your own luck in many respects. And Rowlings read it to perfection. But young Bellotti did slip at the vital time and did make the vital difference.
That's right.
22 points the difference. Fittingly, number 22 just kicked the last goal. Barry Rowlings, 80 to 58 now in the Foster's Cup. 10.5 minutes gone in the term. Still plenty of time, though, for East Fremantle to get up. Turco to Mainwaring. And that is kicked rather short. Holt overruns the ball. Renstead loses out to Larkins. Over to McKenna. Wearing, of course, Francis Burke's old number. Wake was the high flyer, couldn't complete the mark. Bellotti does it well. Kick up towards the half-back line, trying to find Bushell. It bounces off his chest. The umpire's found a free kick, though.
Pushing the back to him, Pete.
Bushell to take the free kick. He's gone for a hand pass to Regan. The umpire redirecting the player to take the kick. Dummies well. Gets around Rioli. That's not easy to do. Larkins, good safe mark. On the chest. The kick wasn't a particularly good one. Trying to find Annear, who's been one of Richmond's best players tonight. Mainwaring. Annear again. Umpire says holding the man. And Mainwaring, I think, will get the kick. Little rover come wing player, or vice versa if you like. Played pretty well tonight. Had 6 kicks in the first quarter. Rather quiet in the second, but certainly has been one of East Fremantle's best players tonight. It's drawn behind. It's paddled down to Simpson. Simpson's kick is short around the boundary line and bounces over. And it will be a boundary throw-in. Pretty well on centre wing. 80 plays 58. A difference of 22 points now in the final term, which has been in progress only 12 minutes. So, as I said, still plenty of time for East Fremantle to get up and win the match and advance to the second round of this rather lucrative night competition. Lee doing battle with Harding on that occasion. The Richmond skipper having a stint on the bench after injuring an ankle early on. Well, see Eustace in the hands, well, not in the hands of the trainers, but rubbing his knee.
So we might have cramp too. I thought he was leg that time as he was in the middle of the pack.
You can see him there on the right of screen. Lee getting up very high for the tap down, but the ball once again over the boundary line. And Eustace now in the hands of the trainers, still limping a little bit.
Touch of cramp too, I think, Pete.
Well, that's 3 or 4 of them tonight with cramp. So that will be something, I guess, worked on at Punt Road in the days to come. Good palm out by Lee. Intercepting is Renstead. Strachan gets there first, defending well. Seems to get a push in the back. Now here's a chance for Ronnie Alexander. Can he make it 2 goals? Can't pick it up though. And it all sorts of bother. McKenna just about gets one in the back from Brennan. The umpire says it will be a throw-in.
Well, that was a big job for Ronnie Alexander to pick it up on the run. He just couldn't get down there. And, of course, they grabbed him and the ball is out of bounds in the forward pocket. 12-8-80, Richmond to East Fremantle, 8 goals, 10-58. Just on the 13.5-minute mark. Chance now for little McKenna to go for a hand pass over to Annear. Been consistent all night. And there's a good mark taken in defence that time by Holt. Holt with a hand pass to Peake. Oh, he fumbled a sitter. This lets Rioli get in there and get away, and a good hand pass coming over now. And there's a chance for Eustace to go for a kick, even though he was grabbed looking for Roach. He's got a start on Foreman. Can he pick it up? He fumbles the ball. Foreman puts him out of business there, puts him off balance, kicks the ball off the ground. Good defensive play. Out there to Regan at half back for East Fremantle. They're still not giving in. They're going for a pass there. It's okay, and the mark taken by little Turco out there on the centre wing position. Turco goes for a long kick. Fumble that time down there by Jones, and there'll be a bit of a stack up here, and the umpire will ball it up out there on that half-forward line, about 60 metres out from the Richmond goal. East Fremantle goal, I should say. They're trailing by 22 points, badly needing a goal. Renstead fumbled that one as it came out of the pack. Going after it now is Larkins. Kicked 2 great goals in that third quarter. Finally, the ball driven down there towards the forward pocket by half-forward line by Simpson. Hand pass coming over to Big Harding. He's thrown to the ground by Rioli. This gives him the break to drive the ball up there towards that full-forward position by Eustace into the forward pocket. Still plenty of fumbling going on as Rowlings gets a high kick. Roach has got the sit. Got his hands to it. Kicked off the ground that time by Green and through for 1 point. That was a saver by Green. So the difference now 23 points. 12 goals, 9.81. Richmond to East Fremantle, 8 goals, 10.58. Just over the 15-minute mark of this last quarter. It's Browning taking advantage there, breaking clear, going for the long kick out towards Larkins. He couldn't hold the mark. Goes after it again. Still can't pick it up. Kicked off the ground again by Bellotti. Finally, it's picked up that time by Simpson. It's a wild kick and out of bounds on the full, and to take the free kick out there will be Holt for East Fremantle at half back. Goes for a short pass, looking for Renstead. Not a good one. And it's Zakaski trying to get clear. They pounce on top of him. They certainly bring him to ground pretty quickly. And the ball is finally kicked out of bounds on that centre wing position. Into this quarter by just on 16 minutes. It's 81 plays 58 in favour of the Tigers. So time's running out. They badly need a goal. East Fremantle's Lee gets the knockout. And there's Annear again, driving it back to centre half forward. Pushed out by James. He's having a box on with his opponent there, Green. Finally, it goes down to that forward pocket. Eustace gets a hand pass back into the forward pocket. A snap at goal that time by Winton. And he's off target and he's put it out of bounds on the full.
So a free kick going to East Fremantle. 81 plays 58. So say at the small scoreboard, Wake to take the free kick for the Sharks. Oh, Bellotti taking the mark.
Must be very slippery out there, Pete, just the same.
Yes, they're having a lot more problems handling it than they did last week here. Of course, it was a little bit warmer and we didn't have the dew on the ground then. Boundary throw in. Barling and Harding. Browning can't get clear. And the umpire has decided on a bounce. McKenna on the bottom of that stack up. 81 plays 58. 12-9 to 8-10 at VFL Park. Knocked down by Regan. Holt. Short pass. Up towards centre wing. Turco. Attempted smother, successful by Simpson. Renstead in there for the Sharks. The ball beating him and 3 Richmond players, including one of the best on the ground in John Annear over the boundary line. Once more a boundary throw in. ball in, as they say in Adelaide. Lee and Harding. And of course, we have a night match coming up over there at Football Park in just a few weeks' time. Hawthorn making the trip across. Winton getting underneath the ball. Knocks it away from Sandover and Tassie medalist Brian Peake. And the boundary umpire once again, the centre of attraction, 81 to 58. Richmond maintaining their advantage in the final term after East Fremantle had kicked the first goal, but the Tigers still looking pretty strong. Barling does at that time on his own and looks quite a useful recruit down there in Tigerland. Annear would, I dare say, without looking at the stats, being the leading possession gatherer tonight. Free kick to Simpson, perhaps. He's looking for one anyway, and in fact gets one from the umpire. Rowlings. Had a very serviceable game for the Tigers. Looking for Roach. Foreman is there. That wasn't touched, but through for 1 point anyway. So one further point to the Richmond side, taking them to 12 goals, 10, 82 to 8 goals, 10, 58. And coming onto the ground,
Stewart on.
Craig Stewart. Thank you, Bob. Foreman. Good long kick. Gepp loses that one out and picked up by Wilson. Wilson's gone for a short pass. Jess was right on his own man there, not giving him an inch. Now once again Renstead, this time to Wilson once more. Awkward looking left foot kick up towards the full forward position. Alexander waiting at the back, doesn't get it. Strachan got grabbed when not in possession. The umpire calls play on. A very untidy passage of play down there, and it's finally paddled towards the boundary line. No one making much headway. Finally picked up by Gepp. Jepp's kick is a high one. Mainwaring getting underneath it and takes the good safe mark on the chest. Certainly been one of the best 3 or 4 for East Fremantle. He's gone for a short pass, and the mark taken by Harding at the point of the square. They're not gaining much from this. And Bellotti takes the mark. He too has gone for a short pass, and they'll probably lose it. It was intended for Holt. He's still got it. Eustace goes in there pretty quickly. The hand pass comes out to Turco. He can shoot at goal. He does so, but he could be off target. The goal umpire says 1 point when they badly needed a goal. And so the scoreboard 12-10 to 8-11.
Still the difference, 23 points in favour of Richmond. Just on the 20-minute mark of this last quarter. I think both sides interchange player. Wilson coming off the ground, and Lockyer replacing Wilson. Ball back out there towards that half-back flank position. Chance now for Harding to knock it on. Smothers the ball well, gets a hand pass back. Turco ran into a bit of trouble. He can't get clear, and the umpire will ball it up about 50 metres out from the East Fremantle goal. I'd say both sides looking tight. It's going to be a free kick to Richmond. It's Burton to take the free kick. He took advantage there and broke clear as he drives the ball out wide. As I said, both sides looking pretty tired.
There's a lot of little sleep tonight, Lou.
And we see a free kick going to James out there on the centre wing position. Tigers in a very handy position. They're 82 points to 59 East Fremantle. Down towards the half-forward line. Whitten trying to break clear of the pack. He's got hold of Browning's legs, who gets a hand pass out to Lockyer. Oh, the Mainwaring lost that one, but finally backing up well. There is Jones. His kick is not a good one. And a chance now for little Eustace to pick it up. Breaks clear of his opponent, Renstead. A hand pass coming out to Larkins. He looks for a lead coming to Winton, who takes the mark down there in the forward, towards the forward pocket position, about 45 to 50 metres out from goal. So this is Winton for Richmond. There's the kick. At the back is James, got the sit here, flies high, couldn't hold the mark. It's up the top of the pack and through for 1 point. So just on the 21.5-minute mark, it's Richmond 12 goals, 11-83 to East Fremantle, 8-11-59.
Cramp there, Lou.
There's quite a few players going down with cramp. We'll pick that player up in a minute as we see the mark taken there by Mainwaring. Eustace, the ball there by Mainwaring at centre half back, a little short of that position. Bushell got the ball away from Burton, but Burton's right on his tail. He gets into his back, but what will the umpire do? He said, let's ball it up on that half-forward line for East Fremantle, about 65 metres out from their goal. Could have been a free kick to Bushell for in the back. Ball up. Knocked out by Brennan. A chance for Mainwaring again. Gets a hurried kick down there towards the full forward position. Waterson smothered by Strachan. A hand pass from Simpson over to Burton out there at half-back. Tigers looking all right again as we see Jimmy, that's Gepp, I was going to say Jimmy Gepp, Finally picked up by Eustace again. A short pass. It's okay. And there's Annear. I don't know how many kicks he's had, but he certainly played a great game tonight. Annear, a short pass. And Jimmy Jess with the ball there at half forward for the Tigers to drive it up there towards Roach.
Roach has it knocked away from him. Rioli. High and short. Oh, goodness me. Just about a mark down there, but Larkins made a mess of it. Lee chasing it. In there is Wake. It goes to Holt. Foreman misses it. Chance for James. Foreman again. It's very slippery. Wake. Oh, bad hand pass. That was intended for Browning. It's taken by McKenna. McKenna's gone for a pass. And having a shot at goal for Richmond down there was Larkins. It's out of bounds, and the boundary throw-in will take place adjacent to the behind post. 12-11 to 8-11, a difference of 4 goals. Still in favour of the Tigers. They led at half-time by 22 points, but trailed at quarter-time by 9. Knocked down by Alexander. Brian Peake couldn't get a kick at the ball. Winton had a fresh air shot. And snapshot by Eustace. Yes, and a mark taken by Michael Roach right on the kick-off line, and he has a chance to make it 4 goals for the night. Well, Eustace recovering from the cramp pretty quickly.
It's a well-judged mark on that occasion, and I think the tiredness really showing in East Fremantle because they just could not even look like punching that ball away.
Michael Roach, 15 metres out from goal. He doesn't miss those. 4 goals to Roach. Well, if ever there was a sealer needed, that certainly was it as we approach the time-on period of the final term.
Yes, even apart from that one, we did find that East Fremantle really could not put enough score on the board. They needed to kick a couple of quick goals, and as we watch the replay, it's Michael Roach taking a lovely, well-judged mark.
Four goals to Roach. He's the leading goal kicker in the match. The Tigers lead by 5. Although they have suffered a couple of the nasty injuries tonight, knocked on by Lockyer. Oh, that was just a little bit too high, I think. And the free kick will go the Tigers' way to be taken down there by Sakarski. He's played a pretty good game tonight. The umpire calling play back. Of course, at one stage he left the ground. I think it was also with cramp.
That's right.
Another boy to come through the Herald Shield, Pete.
Yes, there's quite a few. And, of course, Mark Lee was one of those originally, wasn't he?
He and Dale Waitman both with Melbourne High School.
That's right. He originally came from up the Grapevine territory, up Mildura way. McKenna has the hand pass. Simpson down to half forward. Fumbling is Green. Now he gets clear. Kick is a little bit short, now towards the centre wing position. Holt streaming through. He's gone for a short pass, and that's okay. Waterson takes the mark in front of Strachan. Decides to go for a pass or a hand pass. That's okay. A chance for Jones to have a shot at goal. That's... oh, he's missed it. Goodness me. Unbelievable from 10 metres out. 89 plays 60. 29 points the difference. So Jimmy Jess now to kick in. Kicks it clear of hand and foot, and Jess has already kicked a goal tonight. So he's been in defence and also in attack tonight. Jimmy Jess after Tim Gepp. Over the top, that's okay. Francis, centre wing. Chips it inboard. Looking for somebody. Certainly wasn't Main Waring. Main Waring's kick is also short in towards centre field.
And there's a chance now for the ball to be taken away by East Fremantle. Driven up there by Jones, and the umpires paid the mark and the free kick. It'll go to Regan. There'll be a 15-metre penalty, and this makes him only about 35 to 40 metres out from goal. He's directly in front and yet to score one. Into this quarter by just over 26.5 minutes. There's the kick on its way, but Regan's up target and through for 1 point. So Richmond 13-11-89 to East Fremantle 8-13-61. Difference of 28 points. And they look a mighty tired side. Not that Richmond look a bundle of energy either, but it's been a good effort by the Tigers. Knocked out by Lockyer down there at half forward. Goes for the long kick towards the goal. This is not a bad sort of a kick either, but hit the post. And it's through for another point. So they haven't thrown the sponge, and that's one thing in their favour. 13-11-89, Richmond to East Fremantle, 8 goals, 14-62. Short pass by Gepp. Looking for Strachan. That's a bad one, but Harding got clear, but a bit of bad luck happened there. He went to make the kick and fell over. And it's hit the post, and there'll be a throw in right against it. That's, let me see who it is. It might be Strachan.
Yes, it is Strachan.
Ball right against the East Fremantle point post. Ball back into play. Harding and Lee going with this one. Lee got the tap down. There's Gepp getting a hand pass. Finally, we see the ball driven away that time by Eustace out towards that half-forward line. That was Annear, I should say. A bit of a fumble going on by the Tigers. And the ball, that's Stewart kicking the ball. It was smothered. Comes back there again. Big Ron Alexander goes for a hand pass. And there's a chance now for Browning to have a long shot at goal. He decides to go for a short pass. Francis picks it up. A high kick back there towards Main Waring. It'll take the mark short of centre half forward, about 50 metres out from goal. He can't make up his mind what to do. He's hesitant about a bad kick. And he who hesitates is lost, as we see Jess go down. A chance for East Fremantle to get cleared. Jess goes after it. Gepp goes after it again. He gets into his opponent's back, but the umpire will ball it up out there towards the centre half forward position for East Fremantle. There's 62 points to Richmond 89. Approaching the 28.5-minute mark. Knocked out by Alexander. Picked up by that time by Little McKenna. Gepp fumbles that one. There's a hand pass coming out that time to Alexander. Shoots it up towards the full forward position. A mark to Waterson, I would say. Yes, he's got it. And he's well within kicking distance. There's the siren to end the quarter. Well, at least he'll have the shot and make their score. There's the mark again. A good juggling mark by Waterson. Has the kick. And it is a goal. So they finished up on a happy note. Final scores here in the second match of the Foster's Football Cup for 1985. Richmond 13-11-89 to East Fremantle 9-14-68. Well, they fought it out to the end, but Bob, they looked a mighty tired side, and I wouldn't say that, as I mentioned during the commentary, Richmond looked a bundle of energy, but they finally wore them down from about halfway through this match, and they never really looked like winning it, except for a little bit of a spurt in that third quarter.
Well, both sides did a lot of running, Lou, and it was indicative of the fact that there were so many players that did get the cramp, and you know, at this time of the year, there's nothing like match conditioning, and it would do both sides the world of good. But the East Fremantle were not disgraced at any stage. In the last quarter, they kicked 3 goals 6 to 2 goals 4, and continually attacked. And if they'd had a little bit of luck early in that term and put a couple of quick goals on the board, they may have really worried Richmond. But all in all, it was a great effort by East Fremantle just to hang in there to finish on 9-14-68, with Richmond running out winners 13-11-89.
He was told us.
Adelaide closed it.
Yeah, right, I'm ready to do that.
You're right with the year?
Yeah. I can't, the earpiece won't go in.
Right. Damn thing.
Oh, it doesn't fit my ear, that's why.
Doesn't bloody fit. Here we go.
How long have I got? Okay. Well, there it was, Richmond running out.
3, 2.
So there it was, Richmond. Oh, I can't get that. I'll say something else.
1 minute left of the break.
So Richmond fairly convincing winners tonight, and the final scores 13-11-89 to 9-14-68. East Fremantle coming home well in the final term, kicking 3-6 to 2-4. Main goal kickers for Richmond, though, were Roach 4 and Annear 3 with Larkins 2, and for East Fremantle, Bushell was their major goal kick with 2. Likewise, Turco also kicked 2 goals. The Tigers advancing to the second round of the Foster's Cup for season 1985. And that just about takes us out from VFL Park, but don't forget on April the 16th at Football Park, Port Adelaide will be playing the VFL runners-up of last year in Hawthorn. Hope you enjoyed the match tonight. Peter Landy on behalf of Lou Richards, Bob Skilton, Stephen Phillips, Jack Edwards saying a very good night to you all from VFL Park. 15 seconds. And let's check the final scores now. 13-11-89 to 9-14-68. The major goal kickers for Richmond. Annear had 3, Roach 4 and 2 to Larkins. And for East Fremantle, Turco had 2 goals. They scored 3-6 to the Tigers, 2-4 in the final term. But Richmond's lead, as we expected, Bob Skilton, just a little bit too great.
Yes, I'm afraid that East Fremantle just couldn't kick those couple of quick goals to get back into the game. But nonetheless, you must admire the way that East Fremantle clung in there, and they at no stage refused to give in and throw it away. And they had good players across the back line at centre-half back. The further the game went, the better he became at centre-half back, and that was number 10 in Clinton Browning. Although he went out of the game in the centre. In fact, both Rioli and young Renstead went out of the game as it progressed. And I think John Annear continued to bring the ball forward. Good player all over the ground. And young Mainwaring in particular was a very good player on the wing.
I'll go along with that, Bob. I just thought that they put up a great show, but I liked the form of Rowlings in the first half, and I'm quite sure that Richmond are pretty pleased that they did come to terms about his contract, because in the first half he hadn't have been out there, they would have been in all the bother about the place.
Yes, he played well when they needed a few players firing early on. And we'll be voting on our best player in just a few moments. And of course, the player of the night will receive the superb portable stereo hi-fi with the compliments of National Panasonic, the big entertainers, and the player that's judged to be the player of the series in 1985 will win this fabulous Nissan TRX, offering the best in performance, luxury and style. That is the Nissan TRX. We'll take a break. Back in just a moment.
$150.
Welcome back to VFL Park, and tonight it is indeed a unanimous decision that the player of the match to win the National Panasonic Prize is John Annear, and we'll be speaking to him in just a few moments. But in the meantime, Stephen Phillips has with him Ron Alexander.
Thanks, Peter. And Ronnie, just that second quarter when they kicked 5 goals and you didn't kick any goals, just about cost of the game.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help when that situation occurs. We're a little disappointed with it. We made some changes at half-time and tightened up. But
why didn't you come on in the first half?
Well, the big men were doing fairly well, and I didn't want to unbalance the side and have another big man on the ground in those conditions, which were fairly slippery. The ball was pretty greasy out there.
Well, you made your presence felt in a number of ways when you came on in the third quarter, including having a word to the boys in white. What was the problem?
Well, I'm a little bit concerned when the umpire shepherds. You know, I asked him to go right and he went left. I think he must have had concussion at the time. He should have had anyway.
what's your playing future? You spent most of the evening up forward. Would you prefer the young guys to take over the ruck mantle from you?
Well, I'd like to keep playing till I'm 65 not out, but I'm a bit closer to that now, so I'll just see how I go and perhaps play up in the forward line.
You had a very young side, finished runners-up last year. You've obviously got some good young talent to look at in 85.
Well, we've been grooming players. There was a number of players that couldn't make the trip for various work commitments, etc. And it gave the opportunity to try out some young players like Chris Mainwaring, who did exceptionally well, and it's good to see young people get a chance.
Ronnie, welcome back to VFL Park. You've played in the night premiership. You know what it's all about. We hope to see you back here in the years to come. And at this stage, we'll go back to Peter Landy.
Right, thank you, Stephen, and thank you to Ron Alexander. Let's hope we see Ron back here again. Let's check the result of the schoolboys match tonight in the Herald Shield. A convincing win to Cranbourne High School over Camberwell High. They're both in the Hawthorn zone, and the Cranbourne High boys performed very, very well. No match here next Tuesday night. The next match will be the Sydney Swans versus Collingwood, and that will be in a couple of weeks' time. No match, of course, next week owing to the opening of the VFL season, which, of course, is here on Saturday. Essendon versus Hawthorn, a replay, of course, of last year's grand final that also signifies the return of league teams. One of the great events in television. Lou returns on Thursday night.
Thank you,
We're
Pete.
looking forward to that.